So that's it for this template. I am open for questions. Let me look in the chat. Yes. So D asked if you can use the same grantor for all your trusts. Yes, you can. So they are all three separate entities, and nobody's gonna know that you use the same grantor for all three. So yeah, you can have the same grantor, the same beneficiaries, or the same trustees. Is there any other questions? Let me see. Peace and love, Erica. Form. Okay. All right. Flanzy?
Yeah. On the notary, it has jurat/acknowledgement. Does the notary do one or the other or both?
So it's the same name. So it just means the acknowledgement that you're acknowledging that these individuals came before you and that they proved their identity. They had some type of identification and stuff like that, and that you're acknowledging the statement that's below that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do I have any other questions? We did.
I do have a question about Article 2 under memberships. Is it required to have members? Is it mandatory to have members?
No, it's not mandatory. It's not. It's mandatory to have board members, but not to have like a membership and members. Is optional. It's optional, yeah. So think about like a church, how a church has congregation, they have members that go to a special location and stuff like that. Or if you have like, think about like the FBL, right? So it's an organization. So usually organizations have members. So it's not required, but it is something that you might want to consider.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Next, Derek and Shirley.
Hi.
Hey, Shirley.
Hey.
How are you?
Not damn hot tonight. It's hot here in Florida.
Oh yeah. You know I'm in Florida. It was blazing.
Yeah, we about to go on fire down here.
Yeah, I know. I was talking to somebody about a heat wave earlier. I forgot who I was talking to, and they're like, "What? We don't have heat waves in Massachusetts." So I was like, "Oh, you guys can't relate."
Definitely. Hey, I had a question about Article 20, Section 1. It says that special meetings may be called by one or more trustees upon 3 days' notice.
Yeah, so usually you want to give 2 weeks, but if it's like, so a special meeting is kind of like an emergency meeting. So you can change that if you want. Okay. So if you want to put 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, yeah, it's up to your discretion, but it's just saying that typically we want 2 weeks, but if it's like an emergency, then it has to be at least like a minimum of 3 days. It can't be the same day.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're so welcome. Keisha.
Hello.
Hey, Keisha, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good, sunshine.
Thank you. So, of course, I got a couple questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so this is piggybacking off the person who asked if you are required to have members. I had that question as well, and when you answered it. But if you do decide to have members, and I saw where you had, they have to be aligned with your faith-based organization, and there was, rules and regulations that they have to abide by as far as being members. Is there like a manual or something that as a trustee have to create to be able to give to those members so they would know that, hey, by you being part of this membership, you have to be, aligned with how this organization goes?
Yes, so that is advised, right? So basically what you want to do is you want to take your like sections or little snippets of your bylaws, right? So like your tenets of faith, your mission, things like that, and you want to share it with these members so that you know that they're in alignment with it. So you're saying like create a manual. So yes, definitely you can create a guide, a manual, or some type of application process to where they are advised like, hey, these are the stipulations for the membership, and if you agree, you know, you have to agree to it if you are applying for a membership with this organization.
And that would be the same if it's for doing for the board members as well, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, you want them to qualify, yeah.
Okay, and then the other question has something to do with about the grantor. So the first money that is received, it's like the grantor is giving you $1, $5, however much that you determine it's going to be. Does that grantor have to truly give you that money, or it's just put here in black and white on paper?
It's just put there on paper.
Okay, and then the other question is about the protector. If you do not have a protector or have selected a protector as of yet, can that section just be placed as NA, or does it have to be deleted? And then, you know, later when you do find a protector, then you can go back and amend it.
Yeah, so you can definitely put NA, and then you can amend it when you decide, you know, 50 years into the future that you want to appoint a protector.
Okay, that's my questions. Thank you.
Those are really good questions. Thank you, Keisha.
And now I'm going to piggyback off that last question. Can you do that for a successor as well, or you have to have a successor determined?
I mean, so you have to have a successor. There's no particular time frame, but what I keep stressing is that tomorrow is not promised. So if you don't wake up tomorrow, who is going to operate the trust tomorrow?
Okay, and the successor, I believe you said, cannot be the grantor.
Correct.
Or any of the trustees.
Correct, because they're acting trustees, so you're choosing a future trustee.
Okay, and going back to the members, is there, since you said it should be considered, I'm already considering it. So is there anyone that cannot be a member?
So they just have to qualify. So, wait, are you talking about board members or regular FBO members?
Oh, the Article 2 membership, under memberships where it's.
So you're talking about regular members? Yeah, so they just have to qualify, basically. So, so anybody can be a member as long as they go through your, you know, qualification process. There's like no restrictions, as far as like, what type of person, but as long as they are in alignment with the tenets of faith, as long as they're 18 and older, and what else? As long as they, you know, are agreeing to abide by the mission, as long as they are agreeing to, you know, to donate, then they can be a member.
And did you already talk about this? But what's the role of the member? Why do you need members? Why do you need a membership?
So think about so it's an organization. So organizations have members, right? Or it's a ministry, or it's a church, right? There are people that coming together with the same mission. So it's not that you need members, it's that you're eligible to have members.
Okay, and should I enlist those members?
Yeah, you definitely want to. So that's a part of your record keeping. So when you are doing your records, when you have your secretary, or if you're doing it as your trustee and you have members that are active or even inactive, you definitely want to keep records of it. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome, Jen. Thank you. Let's see, D.
Hi.
Hey, D.
Okay, I know the question now. Now, I noticed tonight you said we could put assets in a ministry, but then I also remember you saying we could put assets in a family. So what's the difference between the assets that we're putting in either or trust?
So there's two major differences, right? So one is that with your family trust, your beneficiaries are your descendants. Okay, so that's one. With the ministry trust, your beneficiaries are not your descendants. That's one. Two, it depends on the type of asset. So let's just say you have a house, right? If you put it under your family trust, then once that that trust is dissolved, then that house is going to go to your children, right? But that house, if you wanted it to be exempt from paying property taxes, then you wouldn't qualify for that if you put it under the family trust. So if you have the ministry trust and you want to qualify for that property to be exempt from property taxes, then you could do that with a ministry trust. So that's one of the strategies. But your kids cannot be the beneficiary of your ministry trust. So that's one reason why you might not want to do that. So with the ministry trust, your beneficiary has to be either, you know, some type of corporation. It could be another entity or another tax exempt organization, nonprofit. So that's the main difference.
Can it be one of my other trusts?
It can.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
So with that, can you put property in two or more of your trusts? So can the same property be in a business trust as well as a family trust?
You can do that, yeah. So you would just have to have both trusts listed on the deed. Yeah.
And
All
what's an example of something that you may want to put in both in two different trusts?
Yeah, so if you have two different, for example, if I had a trust and you had a trust and we were both, you know, both had beneficial interest in this property, then both of our trusts would be listed on the deed. So you wouldn't do it if it's just you. It doesn't make sense. So if these are just all your trusts, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's where I was going with that. If it's just one of the three trusts that we're setting up now, would I put something in a business trust as well as a family trust and it being the same?
It's not necessary.
Okay, so it's not necessary.
So Dee Dee again. So if the house that I live in, which we pay property taxes on in New York, is it that if I put it in a ministry trust, then I no longer have to pay property taxes on it? Is that what would happen?
Yes, that's correct. But you do have to apply for it. Okay, so it's not automatic. So with the ministry trust, the only thing that is automatically exempt is federal. Everything else you have to apply for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And I did find out that VA disability income is non-reportable. So like if that's my only source of income, I don't have to file taxes.
Okay, that's good. Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations. So we'll talk about that offline when we have our one-on-one, my dear.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's 9:02. I do want to respect your time. Do I have
another quick question? I'm sorry.
No, don't worry about it, Keisha. Come on. I was just about to say, is there any other final questions? So go for it. So is there any other final questions? Because I do want to respect your time. It is 9:02. So Keisha has one question. And if there's any other last final questions before I let you go, and I will see you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. here. I'm super excited because we got business to handle. So go ahead, Keisha.
Okay, thank you. This may be, a personal preference, but what are some of the faith faith-based organizations that you can come up with that would be considered? I mean, there's a whole lot, but if you've never done it before, you know, of course you hear about, you know, different ministries, you know, people giving Bibles out to people, you know, in jail or stuff like that. And I know that could be considered, but what are some other examples that could probably be used that would fall up under the FBO?
One that I can think of off my head is the NAACP. So you know how the NAACP is an organization and it has members?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's one that I could consider that is like publicly known. But there's, you know, there's a lot of them. I don't really have like a list, but there's a lot of faith-based organizations, ministries, things like that. But that's one that, you know, that we all know about.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Hi, this is Donna.
Hey, Donna, how are you?
I'm fine. And thanks for all the information.
You're
I
so
love
welcome.
it. And you're doing an awesome job. I have a question because I went on the IRS section and it says that the trust will be responsible for reporting income on the form 1041.
Yes, that's correct. That's for your business trust and your family trust. So those two trusts are for-profit entities and they do need to file a 1041. And so it's in your, the 1041 is on your online portal under resources. You will find the 1041.
Okay. And okay, that was it.
Okay, perfect. All right. So with that being said, everyone have a beautiful evening. You guys have a good night and I will see you guys here tomorrow on Zoom. I will send you guys the email with all of the resources that you're going to need for our call as well as the Zoom link. So we're going to be applying for EINs and doing board meetings, okay, for all three of your trust. So good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Be blessed, everybody.